Japanese pumpkin soup for Good Soup Day 3. Hey, I'm a cook named Matt. This is Good Soup Day 3. Welcome back to the channel. In this one, a lot of you guys were asking for pumpkin or a squash or a kabocha squash. So I want to go into the Japanese pumpkin kabocha squash, turn it into a soup because we're going into fall season. I want something nice and hearty in a bowl. This one is delicious. Now, in my 12 years of restaurant experience, I did not come across the kabocha squash until I moved to Seattle. That's probably because they call this a Japanese pumpkin as well. Seattle's very Japanese influence. But on another note, the kabocha squash is actually very delicious. It's like a cross between sweet potato, chestnut. It has an ugly exterior. The outside looks quite ugly. You could call it an ugly pumpkin too, but I think it's a beautiful pumpkin. I think it looks quite nice and it is delicious. I'm gonna be going over vegetable stock. This is something quite simple and you can use this for pretty much any soup that I'm gonna make in this Good Soup series. It takes water and about 30 minutes and a bunch of vegetables. First things first, for my vegetable stock, I'm taking a pot. I'm gonna toss in all of my vegetables, carrots, celery, onion, celery, carrot, whatever order you want to put it in, toss it into the pot. Yes, celery can go in with everything. Carrot can go in with skin on too. Onion can go in with skin on as well. It's stock, it's fine. I fill that up with water all the way. In restaurants, we'll take old stock, toss it into our new stock, just to keep it going and fortify our stock. It makes it a lot more flavorful. To mimic this at home, I'll usually toss in a bouillon cube to my stocks that I have going. Then I bring this up to a boil and then I bring it down to a simmer and I let it go for around 30 to 45 minutes. This is just gonna make it so much more flavorful. You don't have to do this. This is an optional thing. This is just a little tip that I'm giving you that we have. Another thing you might notice is it's pretty tough to cut these. So you want to use a knife that is nice and thick. As you noticed, I used a different knife. I didn't use my thin blade because I don't want to ruin it. You want to use a nice thick boy because these are quite tough to cut. And you want to insert the tip of your knife in first, grasping this firmly, not to cut yourself. Tip first, then down all the way, and just this motion right here. Then I'll take a spoon and just take the seeds out. We can also toast the seeds off for a nice snack. Also, quick tip, napkin or parchment paper on your board, easy cleanup. Now I've got my half. Yes, the skin is edible, but for this, I want that beautiful bright orange color. I don't want to muddy that color at all. I want to have a beautiful colored soup for my presentation. Once you can pierce right through that skin, that's when it's good to take out. Now, using a knife or a spoon, I can just gently remove the skin from the squash. Just like that, we're left with kabocha squash without the skin. Clarified butter, ginger, cardamom, fennel seed, espelette, bay leaf, leeks. Toss in the squash, coconut milk, vegetable stock. Soup goes in small batches just so we don't overwork our blender. We pour this through a strainer, a fine mesh strainer, and I use a ladle. This is a pretty good tip actually. You take a ladle, fine mesh strainer, and you just start pushing it down sort of like a plunger motion. And that allows this to come out a lot faster and smoother. Then I'm just gonna keep repeating this process until all of it is thoroughly blended, and then I'll season it to taste once I have it all blended. I remember I used to do giant Lexans. It's this giant container. I used to do giant containers full of soups just like this at work, where I have to go blender to blender to blender, just straining over and over again. So this is nothing compared to that. But anyways, this is a little bit thick for my liking. So what I'll do is I'll just thin it out with a touch of my stock. There we go. That's nice. Now I can season it with some MSG to taste, salt to taste, and then I'll just give this a little tasty taste. Now I'm just gonna toast off some pepitas for my garnish. Go ahead and use whatever nut. I think pepitas would be a perfect garnish for this. They have the right color, they have the right flavor. It's a nice crunch to add to this dish for the fall season. Listen to this snap, crackle, pop right here. Now I'm just gonna toast off some sage in some olive oil. Now the sage is always a great pairing with squashes and sweet potatoes and pumpkins. It's a very fall flavor. Toss this all together with a little bit of salt. And now we have a beautiful garnish for our soup. Gonna finish this with some extra virgin olive oil, then some of our pepitas and sage all around, then some pickled onions for a nice pop. If you want a video on how to make these, it's on my channel. And then some fresh black pepper. And this is Good Soup Day 3, the Japanese pumpkin soup. All right, now I'm gonna sit down and try it because you guys like to see me try my food, apparently. First off, presentation. I like that it's simple. Looks really good. I might have wanted to add some more squash into it, like maybe like chunks of it that aren't blended, but that's for another time. That is really wholesome. This is like fall in a fucking bowl, man. That is a damn good soup. Would you guys consider this a soup or a puree? I think it's a soup, it's fine. I haven't gotten a pickled onion, let me see. That was a good pickled onion. That is from 4/15, 4/5/6. This is from April. I made these in April and they're still good. Just goes to show, if you followed the pickled onion video, they're gonna be good in your fridge still. Wow, this is really good. Let me know what soup's in the comments. See you later.